Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. We're here to solve this Renban Sudoku by Chinese author Siyuan Luo, whose name I always pronounce very badly, and I'm sorry for this. This puzzle was featured in the latest Sudoku Grand Prix, and unfortunately I couldn't break into the puzzle during the contest. I found what I had missed after the contest. I hope I'll be able to find it again. So the special rule of Renban is that whenever you have such a shaded region, it must contain a set of distinct digits, all globally consecutive. For example, such a region, a Renban of size 6 must contain the digits, it could be from 1 to 6, from 2 to 7, from 3 to 8, or from 4 to 9. And one very interesting point to note is that such a region will always contain 4, 5, and 6. And this is definitely the place to start, seeing that this has to be a 4 for this very region, for this very reason. Sorry about that. Now you can see that 7 is nowhere here, so 7 will be in one of those three cells. It could be 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. And it's quite interesting to note that 9 and 8 can't be in here. Now those two digits, what could they be? They can't contain a 7, they can't contain a 4, so the only option is 1, 2, 3. Which is not here. So 8 and 9 could very well be here with the 7, with 5 and 6 here, or 5 and 6 cannot be both here, because if they were, we would have to place 8 and 9 in those. Oh well, actually, seeing those, we can see that just by the rules of Sudoku, 8 is in here. And the missing digit with 7 and 8 is either a 6 or a 9. So this is from 6, 7. This is from 6, 7, 9. And in there must be a 5, and the other digit is the missing digit from the Renban, so either 6 or 9. And there is a 9 in there, definitely. So that's a place to start. Now perhaps we can ponder what is happening in this other area. And something of interest here, and this is the part that I did not find during the contest. Well, what I did find is that there has to be an 8 somewhere here. And I also saw that there has to be an 8 around here. And I also, well, that's something I saw earlier, but I will come to that later now. What I failed to see is that the presence of an 8 in those three cells prevents this from being an 8, which is kind of sad, because that's very interesting. An 8 here would prevent all those digits from being an 8. So that can't be an 8. And 8 is actually in this region. And so this must be 987 or 876. So it will contain a 7, and 7 will always be here. And the missing digit will be 6 or 7. So this is from 6, 8. This is from 6, 8, 9. But I forgot to do Sudoku. That's an 8, so that this is actually a 6, and that is 8. And this is not 8. So this is a nice place to start. And so what I forgot to see is that this region, again, must contain a 4, because of this 4 is nowhere here, so 4 is there. And now an interesting point is that 7 can't be inside this Renban anymore, So the only set of digits is the digits from 1 to 6. And 8 is not here, 8 goes there. So those are digits from 1 to 6. I'm not sure it's a good idea to pencil mark all of them. And you can see that 1 can only go there, and that 6 can only go here. So that we're left with 2, 3, and 5, and that's not a 2. This Renban can't contain the 9 because it would have to contain the 8. So 9 is on one of those places. And those are digits between 1 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, or 3, 4, 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. There's always a 3, so that's not a 3. Well, I can't see anything more than that at this point. But I'm seeing by the rules of Sudoku that this is 8. And there has to be a 7 somewhere in here. And that's interesting because well, I could have seen from the beginning that on this 6th row, 7 can only be here. And it resolves that, and that can only be a 7 inside the Renban. That's a 9. That's 1 of 3. And those are from 1 to 3. There's a 9 in here. But we can see that this Renban does not contain an 8, so it can't contain a 9. So 9 goes there. 9, I said. So those are digits between 1 and 7, so either 1 to 6 or 2 to 7. So all digits between 2 and 6 must be somewhere inside this region. And the last digit is either 1 or 7. This is from 3, 5, and 6. Sudoku again places the 4 there. Sudoku again places the 4 here. So there is a 4 down there, which is not that useful. Where should I look next? I'm not sure about that. Four could be here, 4 could be there. Oh, Sudoku again. There's a 7 here. Seven, 9. I must be missing something not that difficult. But I'm really not seeing what it is. I don't think I can place most of the missing digits inside this area. There's a 7 down there, definitely. There's a 6 down there. But this doesn't seem to help. Is this about 9? 9 is not here. It's not inside the Renban, as I mentioned earlier. But it could be anywhere in those cells. This is not helping. I'm missing something. Yes, I'm missing Sudoku again. That's an 8. Definitely. But now, is this helping? Perhaps it's helping with the 9. No, 9 is here or there. Oh yes, there's a 9 in here. So now in this region, 9 is there, not a 0. So with Sudoku, that's a 9. 9 is not inside the Renban, so that is 9 and that is 7. So now this Renban contains the 7 and it does not contain the 8, so that's digits from 2 to 7, and this could only be a 3. Well, that's not easy to see. 1 is not inside the Renban, so that's not the 1. That's the 1. This is from 5 and 6. This is a tricky Renban. 82 points is, well, that's a minimum, I would say. This row still needs 2, 5, and 6. And now 4 is inside this Renban, 4 is in here, which means that this can't contain the 1. It's either 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5. So 1 is here, which resolves that. Places the 5 here, the 3 and the 2. So that's, well, let's say 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2 or 3. This 7 places a 7 there. This is 1, 3, and 5. And this is from 3, 4, 5. This is from 5, 6. And this here is also from 5, 6. So I hope I'll be able to resolve more of that. This Renban contains 2, 5, and 6, and the 2 is in there. So this is from 2, 5, from 2, 5, 6. 9 inside this column goes there. 4, 4, so 4 on the first row is here. I still need 2, 3, and 6, which is not resolving. Can you believe that? The last 9 in the grid is here. Those are from 2, 5, and 6. This column still needs 3 and 5. Right, this column still needs a 2. So that's not a 2. And actually, this row has the 5 in here, so that's not a 5, that's a 6. Which means that this is 5, this is 2, and this resolves a lot. That's a 3, that's a 3. That's not a 3. This 5 removes some options. This 5 actually turns this into a 6. That's a 5. That's a 3. What am I doing? That's a 3, another 3. That's not a 5. This is actually a 3 on the row. That's 4. That's 3, 2, and 4. So that's a 6. That's a 3. And that's a 5. And that's a 6. That's a 2. That's a 5. That's a 6, that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 5. This is 1, this is 2, and this must be 6. Yes. So this is it. A tricky puzzle. Probably not as tricky as the how is it? What is it called? The scattered. The scattered was, well, with my geometric abilities, scattered is always a nightmare. This one was pretty tricky. There again, there was a very distinct solving path, a very logical solving path. But you have to juggle between the logic of Renban and the classic Sudoku logic. I just didn't do enough classic Sudoku during this walkthrough. I managed to do it. I managed to pull it off in the end, and this is what matters. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.